Yo, what up, it's your boy JDMC, guys. We're back with another video. What I'm going to be doing today is a tier list video. I do believe I've done this the last season or two. I think I've done it the last 2 seasons. So, obviously we've seen a decent little sample size of each team. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our tier list. I'll show you guys the categories in a minute. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like, guys. Can we try to get 10 likes this video? Also, make sure to subscribe, road to 2K. I'm trying to get 2K subs by the end of the year. Can you guys help me out with that? Come on. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. If you have already, just drop a like. But yeah, let's just jump straight into this. Alright, so I've got the categories here and all the teams down below. I am covering a couple with my face cam, but we'll get around to them. So we've got Victor as the bottom. That just means, yeah, I think you're just going for Victor Wembanyama at this stage. Mid obviously means I don't think you probably might not make the playoffs, or you'll just be a play-in team, and you're not like a rebuilding, tanking team. You're sort of just mid. Playoffs means I think they can make the playoffs, but they'll probably be like a first round exit or a second round exit maybe. Contenders, someone who I think's like a dark horse or a threat to potentially win it all. And then NBA Finals is like the favorites, like who I think should make the finals. Obviously only 2 teams can make it, but teams that I think are worthy to be like a favorite to make the finals. But yeah, let's just jump straight into this. The Brooklyn Nets. Ooh, obviously a slow start. Are they a contender? They're probably still a contender, right? Because of the talent. Yeah, I'll put them in contender for now. I think they're better than like a first round, second round exit, but we'll have to see. I'm just giving them. I'm gonna put them in contender on the fact that they've got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, obviously. But they've had a slow start. Also, the Mavericks are a contender as well because you've got Luka Doncic at the end of the day. Yeah. And they've been playing well. Their defense is looking good. So I'll put Dallas as a contender as well. The Houston Rockets, Victor. Definitely, you know, a young rebuilding team. So yeah, I'm going to put them in that category down there. The Clippers are interesting. See, what I'm thinking is they're a contender, or they even low-key a favorite to go to the finals. But I'm going to put them as a favorite low-key. Obviously, I'm a Lakers fan, so that hurts to say. But Kawhi's obviously isn't fully back yet. John Wall's looking nice once, you know, he keeps getting his rhythm back. So that team's really deep, really talented. I'm going to say they're low-key one of the favorites. Miami Heat are a contender. I just really like the Heat's culture, and I just think that even if they're lacking some talent on paper, I still think, or are they just a playoff team? We'll put them at contender for now, but I might change it as we go along, guys. The Bucks, favorites, especially in the Eastern Conference. No words, just Giannis is Giannis. That team looks solid. Atlanta Hawks. See, playoffs. I don't think they're like a contender, but I think they'll definitely make the playoffs. Probably be like a first or second round exit. Could go further, obviously. They do have a really nice team, but I'm going to put them in playoffs. The Celtics are a favorite as well. Obviously made the finals last year. I think they've got a strong chance to make the finals again. A Bucks versus Celtics Eastern Conference final would be very good to see. Especially with Jason Tatum, you know, being the man now. Like, he has been the man for the last few years, but he's definitely the man now. So yeah, I'll put them in favorites up there with the Bucks in the East, and then obviously Clippers in the West. Hornets. Yeah, see, they're mid. See, like, I don't think they'll make the playoffs, or they might make a play-in. But then I don't feel like they're really tanking. Yeah, so I'm going to put them in mid. I'll say they just sort of fit that category. The Chicago Bulls, I'll put them sort of similar to the Hawks. Like, I think the Hawks are a little bit better most days, but yeah, I think the Bulls will just be a first or second round exit. The Cavs, playoffs as well, but they've obviously got a lot of upside and potential. So, you know, next year, or they could even prove me wrong this year and become a contender. But I'm going to put them in playoffs. The Nuggets, I'm going to put in contender. They've got Joker once Jamal Murray's fully back, you know, and in rhythm, and, you know, finding a form again that we've seen in the bubble. If he can get back to somewhat that, they're definitely a contender with Jokic, and they have a very solid, deep team. That team is built very well around, yeah, Joker. The Detroit Pistons, Victor. You're going for Victor, right? You got Jaden Ivey, Kay Cunningham. You're a young team. You know, you might win games here and there, but nah, go for Victor. The Warriors, obviously a final. I'll put them there. This isn't an order, by the way, in the categories. I'm just putting the 2 West teams there and then the 2 East teams. I think these, obviously, as a Lakers fan, I'd like to see the Lakers make it all the way, but we all know how that's looking. But a Clippers Warriors Western Conference final over Bucks Celtics. That's some good basketball, guys. If everyone's healthy, that's some good basketball. The Pacers, mid. Obviously, you know, we'll probably lose a bunch of games. And so you could say they're going, you know, for Victor. Because obviously every lottery team's going to have a chance to get the #1 pick, which you think would be Victor. But I'm just going to put them in mid just in the sense of, like, you know, they've still got the Buddy Hield. They've still got the Miles Turner, even though he's injured. Like, you're just in this sort of mid, like in this middle stage of not fully rebuilding, but definitely trying to get there. So, yeah. Pacers and Hornets are just mid to me. Same, honestly, with the Lakers. Like, guys, I'm a Lakers fan, as you might know. Like, yeah, we could maybe make the playoffs, like, or play-in. But we're 0-5. We are mid. We are very, very mid. So I'm definitely going to put the Lakers in mid. The Memphis Grizzlies. Ooh, they're a contender. I don't think they're a favorite. I love Ja. And they could maybe be like a first seed type vibe, but yeah, I'm just going to put them in that contender. Do I drop the Heat down? No, I'll leave Heat there. I respect Heat's culture, and I do think they're really good, so we'll keep Heat in contender. The Timberwolves, what are they, like 4-2 or something? Obviously, it'll take them a little time to gel, you know, made a lot of moves, obviously, with that Rudy trade, so I'll probably say the playoffs. Maybe like a play-in team, maybe something like that. But we'll put them there. They definitely could see them being like a first-round exit again or something. The New Orleans Pelicans. Honestly, they're a contender in my eyes. Like, they are very good. Obviously, Zion's got that little injury. Is he back yet? I hope so. Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and then that supporting cast with the young boys, Herb Jones, Trent Murphy, like, you know, we know how solid the Pelicans are. So I'm going to put them in contender. There's probably a big contrast change from like where I put them last year. I can't quite remember, but shout out to the Pelicans, man. Moving up in the world. The Knicks, just playoffs. Yeah, I don't think they're quite as good as these teams, but I'm not going to say that they're mid. Yeah, they're probably playoffs. Guys, like, I could put the Lakers up in playoffs, but honestly, I'm leaving them in mid. Like, I don't care anymore. The Thunder, go for Victor. Definitely, yeah. Just young team. Will probably drop a lot of games. Same with the Magic, honestly. Yeah. Like, you could argue, like, some of these teams, you know, are potentially better than, I don't know, Hornets or Pacers. But just the way they're sort of the teams orchestrated in sense of, like, their intention, yeah, I think they are more, like, young, pure rebuilding teams. The Sixers have had a slow start. I think they've got a game now, right? They've won a game, but I honestly, you guys might disagree. I still see them as a contender. I know I've got a lot of contenders. Obviously, only 2 teams can make the final. Obviously, only 1 team can win it. But I just think these teams all have like a slight chance, you know, to be a dark horse or, you know, to push for a conference finals or something. But like I said, there is a lot of teams there. Kings, mid. Like, I could say Victor, but like a lot of their players are sort of more like in their prime age, like, you know, they've got more like 25, 26-year-old players compared to like a bunch of young boys like these teams, you know, a bunch of like top talent. Obviously, they do have a lot of young boys, don't get me wrong, but yeah, the Kings are just mid. The Kings are just mid to me. Raptors. Shit, I feel like the last year or two I've disrespected the Raptors and said they wouldn't even make the playoffs, but they always just end up making like the playoffs or the play-in or something. I believe they did last year, obviously, right? Did they? I've gone blank. Anyway, I'm gonna put them in playoffs. Yeah, I think that could be like a play-in team or something. Wizards, they're in between mid and playoffs. Like, they're solid, but like at the end of the day, do you guys really think the Wizards are gonna like win a round in the playoffs if they make it? I guess we put them in mid. Is it disrespectful to put them in mid, guys, with the Lakers and like Kings? I don't care. This is my tier list. They're mid to me. Shout out Kyle Kuzma though. Missed you, bro. The Suns. People, I do understand why people talk down on Devin Booker and how his attitude and all of that, but to me, he's the most disrespected, not disrespected. He's the most overhated player in the league. I still think they're a contender. Obviously, there seems to be some issue of that Jay Crowder situation, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I feel like they got that little revenge against the Mavericks. Was the opening night or their first game? Yeah, they're still just really solid. They're still just, yeah. I see them as a contender. The Trailblazers, honestly, I see them as in the playoffs. I just think, yeah, they could do well, but I could see them a first, second round exit type thing. The San Antonio Spurs, go for Victor. Go for Victor. Clippers. We've already done the Clippers. I guess I like that logo, looks better. Let's just leave this one down here, but yeah, I don't know why these two Clipper ones, guys. And the last team, the Jazz. See, the Jazz are interesting because it had such a hot start. I think they dropped their 2 most recent games. I think they're like 4-2 now, depending when you're watching this. I'm going to say Victor. Obviously, you know, like, currently I think that if the season finished now, I think they've made the playoffs. I don't want to just say they're mid because I feel like they definitely do have strong intentions to rebuild and they got all of those picks after that Rudy trade. So, yeah, I'm going to say more of a Victor team, but they're obviously playing a lot better than some of these teams at the bottom here. But let me just have a quick skim through, guys. So, the favorites, I've said Clippers and Warriors in the West, and then you've got Bucks and Celtics. I'm happy with that. Contenders could drop the Nets or the Heat maybe, but I'm happy with everyone else. Yeah, like East team. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 West teams and contenders, plus 2 up top. So, but yeah, no, I'm happy with that. Playoffs, yeah, Hawks, Bulls, Cavs, Timberwolves. Timberwolves could be mid, but nah, we'll keep them in playoffs. Raptors could be mid, but we'll keep them in playoffs. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Then we've got mid, yeah, Hornets, Pacers, Lakers, Kings, and Wizards. Obviously, you know, Lakers could pick it up. Like, it's going to be hard to stay this horrible the whole year. I mean, might not be for them, but you maybe say they're playoffs, but nah, respectfully, I'm putting them in mid. And then, yeah, Victor, we've got Rockets, Pistons, Thunder, Magic, Spurs, Jazz. I think they're all just very young teams that, you know, are hoping for a high draft pick, teams that might not win heaps of games, apart from the Jazz. But yeah, that's my tier list, guys. But that's all for today's video, guys. Obviously, this tier list can be quite hard. A lot of things happen throughout the season, if it's, you know, trades or injuries or form or anything like that. So, yeah, take us all with a grain of salt, but that's where I believe teams are at the moment after seeing the sample size we've got. I think most teams have played 5-6 games roughly, depending when you're watching this. But make sure to leave a like, guys. Can we try hit 10 likes? Also subscribe if you haven't. Road to 2K by the end of the year. Let's do it. I'm gonna need you guys to help me out. Apart from that, man, stay safe out there. New podcast coming in the next few days, so I'll see you guys then. But stay safe and peace. We hit a mill.